I think it's time to speak upon certain things right now, pattern-wise. I know there's a whole bunch of people that knew about that situation, alright? I really don't want to talk about it, but it needs to be talked about. It needs to be bringing awareness to a lot of things right now. You know what I think? This is why I see patterns, is that everybody knows about what Aaron Justin Ziegler done to me in my sleep. Because he went to work, he bragged about it, right? And then he started having others going along with him, saying that I was the one going out here sleeping around at the time. This is starting to become another pattern. I am noticing, I'm starting to see it very heavily. So, from what I'm trying to bring awareness to, is at any time, if anybody had plans behind my back to do criminal activities upon me, and it's done in my sleep, knowing I am not aware of it, knowing I don't feel it, I will not know it, that if someone assaulted me in my sleep, that's where the smear campaigns usually start. That's when people wants to start talking. Now, the real big question is that's why I'm on guard heavily towards anybody who spreads type of rumors, because that's how it's always been. It's not my first time being assaulted in my sleep. It's happened about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 times I have been assaulted in my sleep in my life. And every time, that stuff, they're not going to tell me to my face that they're planning that upon me. They're not going to tell me, hey, I'm going to insult you in your sleep. They're not going to tell me that. And I've noticed a pattern over the years that people who plans that stuff, and it's now this is the weird kicker now. Now I really got to think here. Why is it the Aryan Brotherhoods are new to this, but it was either the Mongols or the Son of Silent? Now I'm starting to think maybe it's not the Mongols. Maybe it's not the Son of Silent. Maybe it's been the Aryan Brotherhood. Now I gotta think here. Maybe somebody, either from the Mongols or from the Son of Silent, is an outsider working with the Aryan Brotherhood. Now I truthfully have to think about that one. Now I'm thinking about it, now that I can have a better understanding. That pretty much I said last time, there is an outsider who is pulling some very dangerous stuff out here. So, anytime rumors, that's why I had to mention what I did, is because that's what it usually means. Like every time, if people has planned stuff upon you in the dark, that is a criminal act. That is mainly messing with your rights. That is intentionally giving you body injury. That is intentionally trying to hurt you. And that is assault. Like I said, it's been about 5 or 6 times in my life that people has done that to me in my sleep. And then the rumors start. It's almost like a really weird thing. Now, while I'm thinking about it, maybe after all, it may not be the Mongols. It may, like I said, this is very questionable. Why would somebody from the Son of Silent be working with the Aryan Brotherhood? That's dangerous as itself. that can lead to very serious consequences. Because I'm pretty sure there's certain groups out here trying to figure out, what are you talking about? What are you onto? Like, what are you trying to figure out? And there are people who are listening and observing. So this is why I'm bringing awareness to the situation. I don't want to. It's unpleasant. I don't like to have to talk about this stuff. But once you start making a paper trail, you bring awareness to it, and then you can finally understand puzzle pieces to the situation to figure out who is the main problem or who is the one causing the issue. So, from what I'm getting, it's not the Mongols. It's not the Son of Silent, but there is somebody in that Son of Silent group is going to the Aryan Brotherhood, and I really don't think anybody knows that. I think it's done in secret. This is very, very dangerous that some people may know about it, but they're going to keep their mouth shut. But there are other groups out here that may not keep quiet about it. They actually might question it so that they can end the problem so it can be stopped. Like I said, and then there's another thing, is that the Son of Silent, the Mongols, are trying to be blamed. Now, think about this, is that now the Aryan Brotherhoods are being brought to my attention very heavily. So it's the Son of Silent, but somebody in that group. So there's one from Son of Silent and there's one from the Mongols who is going to the Aryan Brotherhood without their acknowledgement. You know what I mean? And then there is somebody from the Aryan Brotherhoods trying to do something towards the Brotherhoods. Like I said, this is just a mess. So from any time I hear any rumors, Aaron Ziegler pops in my head. Because it happens like that every time. Every time somebody has planned something upon me, it's because people know about it. They just keep their mouth shut. Or eventually people hear me talking about it and they are proud. I had to figure it out on my own. They were probably scared to tell me. But eventually these people, I just had a pat on the head. So that means there are people who were threatened not to tell me. They were scared for their lives. So there are threatening going on. So now I'm starting to think here very heavily. The Aryan Brotherhoods threaten somebody. Now I'm thinking about it. The only people who will threaten your life to do something is the Aryan Brotherhoods. They force stuff. Or they're the ones who threaten not pretty much. If there's somebody who needs to tell you something, they keep people from not telling you. That means people are bad. They feel bad. They feel guilty because they are kept from not telling you because they got families out here. But I've kind of noticed a pattern here. There are some people who have been threatened, and by the time they hit my YouTube channel, most of them feel relieved that I figured it out. And they're starting to realize by my voice and my tone, they know that there's been pain and hurt, betrayal, really some nasty stuff that's been going on. But at the same time, they are relieved that I am getting these people's messages who wanted to come towards me, but they couldn't. So they done it spiritually somehow. So like I said, anytime I hear any rumors, and every time it's like, how do people know what happened to me in my sleep? Because think about it. If you were asleep How can people go around spreading rumors that you're sleeping with everybody and anybody, knowing that people are bragging about what happened to you in your sleep? How can other people go around saying that you've been screwing everybody and anybody, knowing it happened to you in your sleep? You will not know. You don't know. So that's the question of it. How do people know that you were raped in your sleep? How do people know that? It's because usually that is a group thing. That's where you really have to really think about it, and you have to sit and think very logically. That's why people are dangerous. When people observe, people have experience, people talk about it, knows how to solve things, very logic. You scare the crap out of people because then you can figure it out. And then, like I said, then you will have the correct people to come in to get it to stop. You know what I mean? So, that's the thing, though, that when people knows and knowingly knows what people have done to you in your sleep, how can people go around saying that you're effing around knowing that you were raped in your sleep? That doesn't make any sense. Make it make sense. There's a lot of people who don't make any sense right now. So anybody, because I've even noticed it, when Aaron was going around town saying that I was cheating on him and whatever, but you got to remember that he was doing some things to me in my sleep. I didn't know it, but other people knew it. So there are people who knows of what happened to me. They just choose to stay out of it, or they're being threatened by the Aryan Brotherhoods not to speak up. And I understand those reasons. Because if you got a family or if you got kids, I understand that, because nobody really wants to put, their family in danger. That's understandable. But it's still the fact of, why would you let somebody go through that and not help them and doing the right thing? Like, that's very questionable. Okay? So that's what always pops in my mind. That's why anything, I have experienced patterns. It's always seemed to happen like that. Anytime anybody has sexually assaulted me in my sleep, that rumor always starts. Every time. I've noticed it. It has been a pattern. And that's where people have messed up with me, because I would sit there, I would observe, and then I start to remember experiences of what happened before, and then your experiences will help you to resolve a situation or have a solution to take care of the problem itself. Who needs to take self-responsibility? Who needs to take accountability for their actions on top of it? You know what I mean? So, like I said, there's a lot of people playing a very weird game right now that is not very smart. So for anybody who wants to come out here, and there are people that we have talked to, has said, yes, I was raped in my sleep. I was touched in my sleep. And that nobody stopped it. There has been confirmation from others in this town. I even asked around, and they said, yes, I was raped in my sleep. So how can these people randomly say to me or someone else that, well, that person's effing around or messing around on you? How can you say that towards somebody who was asleep? They don't know. They wouldn't know until people start bragging or something don't add up. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner here. So it's the Aryan Brotherhoods that are trying to, actually, while I'm thinking of it, there could be somebody in the Son of Silent group trying to blame the Son of Silent to keep the drama going, knowing the main issue, the main problem is the Aryan Brotherhoods. Well, damn. I might have risked my case there. And I know for a damn fact, biker groups watch my shit. I know they do. You can't tell me that they don't. I know they do. And the reasons why I'm talking about this is because I really don't want people fighting each other if it's not necessary. There's somebody who is trying to break the peace. Pretty much people are trying to cause something that does not need to be there. They pretty much don't want love. They really don't want the respect there. So somebody is trying to kill that respect bond. That's why I talk about this stuff. This is why I speak up. And it's not just for bikers. I mean, this can go for anybody. Family, a friend, it don't matter. But Aryan Brotherhoods are not the type of people who are very friendly out here. They are very mean and malicious. They do not care about you. So, like I said, it just doesn't make any sense. To me, actually. And I know for 100% sure, I am pretty damn sure that bikers listen to me and what I gotta say. And I know the brotherhoods hear me out too. Because then, once I say something or state something, then they look into it and then they go, okay, you know? So, like, people can actually stop where it's coming from or get it to the problem of who is responsible for causing it to stop it. Or to stop it before it gets too far. Like I said, that the Aryan Brotherhoods allow people to get attacked. They allow people to get raped. They allow people to assault you. Bikers prevent that. So that's where somebody's got it twisted, okay? Bikers don't like that. Aryan Brotherhoods are up for anything. They do not stop that. And this has to do with prisons, too. There's corrupted police officers that are watching my shit too, and I know they are. You do not scare me, and you do not intimidate me. God will give me messages to get out here. Because the corrupted police officers are wanting people to fight amongst each other, and the message is that try to figure out the problem. Do not jump the gun and try to blame somebody in the group itself. You need to really pay attention for whoever's acting odd. You really need to be observant to see who is the culprit. Man, like, watch your people very closely. Because you will know the difference between how they used to act, and they will, like, to be honest with you, God kind of said, watch their eyes, or watch how the way they move, because then, pretty much what Grandpa Storm's telling me, watch their face or their body, and you will see a difference in this person. Or their hands, is what Grandpa Storm is saying. Something about that. You will completely see a entity, not that individual. So, that's something to really be aware of, too. So, that's why I'm saying, though, I really shouldn't have to keep talking and trying to bring awareness to where I have to figure out. Pretty much this is another, well, I wouldn't say another paper trail, but this would be some type of awareness of understanding why I keep getting called names that I do not deserve. This is why people out of nowhere don't know what happened to me, and then all of a sudden then they do know what happened to me. Like, they're like trying to say, well, this person sleeping around on you has nothing to do with you. That's what the Aryan Brotherhood states. Do you see what I mean? The Aryan Brotherhoods bring nothing but trouble, chaos, really, really bad, destructive things into your life. That's the thing, though. That's just some people wanting to make your life a living hell. They will do smear campaigns. And I know they're watching me, which I don't care. You do not scare me. You do not intimidate me, because I got my mom. I got God on my life. I got my ancestors on my life. You shall not come into my life, and you shall be blinded, and you will perish for every evil deeds that you're doing in the dark. I promise you that. Like I said, it's really pitiful, and it's pretty pathetic. I literally have to sit here and have to literally think logically of what I've been through all my life. I mean, I'm literally looking in the past. I'm looking in the present, and then now you are in the future. Then once you understand patterns, you know how to help yourself, and then you will know how to protect yourself. Actually, these people likes to break your Fourth Amendment. They're breaking every amendment of yours, your privacy, your Fourth Amendment, that they are pushing you to violence. They cannot do that. They can actually get charged for that. And then also, they can also get charged with a hitman, hitwoman, bribery, paying someone to get you assaulted. It don't matter what type. It don't matter to get you jumped or get you sexually assaulted. It don't matter. They can actually end up in prison for it. So, this is actually why you scare people, is because you have a pretty good memory. And then once you start talking about it, and then you are literally going to scare people out of their wits. Do you care? No. Because you know your facts. And then that's what's really weird. Is that it was always between the Mongols or the Son of Silent. Now it's a game changer. Now the Aryan Brotherhoods are popping up now pretty heavily. So come to find out, it's been the Aryan Brotherhoods all along. See, that's the thing though. At first, it was kind of the Son of Silent's fault and the Mongols at first. Now that I'm actually sitting here and understanding the different scenarios, the main issue now is the Aryan Brotherhoods. That is the main issue. That is the main causes of problems right now. And that's what usually happens. Like, these Aryan Brotherhoods will literally do something to you. They will pay somebody, but they're not going to tell you to your face. And that's when you get rumors started. Is because, like that incident with Autumn. She possibly drugged me in my sleep. Now, guess what? The funny kicker, too, is that after she left, she was going around saying that I did meth, knowing that she drugged me. Now, do you see what I mean? I literally have to sit here, and I shouldn't have to. And this is why I make people nervous. This is why I make people eat their words. This is why I make people regret of what they do to me or others. This is why people can't face me. This is why people don't like me. This is why people hate me. And there's other people who actually love me and cares about me, or I have admirers that I'm helping to encourage others to know how to protect themselves as well. It's like all mixtures. But the people that do watch me are actually glad, but they keep anonymous. I don't know, I can't say that correctly, but pretty much their energy will not let me know who they are, but I know that they're friendly. They just kind of don't want to be. It's not like they're trying to clothe themselves. It's just they don't want me to fully know who they are, because they really don't want to expose themselves to me, which is understandable, because I can I can connect to everybody and anybody, and I can actually respect that. Because these people probably knew that if they fully reveal themselves to me, I can feel what they feel. But once they cloak themselves, then it's because they were protecting their energy. That was actually a good reason. So I actually know the difference between a good reason and not a good reason. So like I said, that anybody who spreads rumors that are very nasty about me is because they had a part in it, or they're a part with the Aryan Brotherhoods, and people are just giving themselves away. And there are people who are scared of what I speak about. And guess what? This is actually getting to prisons. These messages are getting in jails everywhere. And there's people who are getting very fed up. Actually, the prisons, oh yeah, actually every prison has heard my videos. There's even cops from jail hearing my stuff, and they're making the Aryan Brotherhoods nervous. And they are messing with them, and it's actually hilarious. That they literally, like, some people may have heard of me, and they might go, dang, wow, no one else could figure you out, but you got this woman figuring you out. How does it feel? Don't feel so nice, don't it? Yeah, so you actually got some people knows that you have psychic abilities, that you use it when you need to. That's actually what they're scared of, is because you use your psychic abilities. It's because you use your third eye, you use your intuition. And plus, when you're a seer, Senate Masters, yeah, you have empowerment. And that's actually what scares these people, is because you are a very powerful person, that you know how to bring change into the world. And you know how to help others to bring empowerment when it needs to be. So, like I said, they can actually be intimidated because of empowerment you are. So meaning, like, these people, once you can actually sit there and understand the human mind, the human emotion, the human mind itself, like a bachelor degree, just the human in general. When you are psychic, these people cannot control you. They can't. That's what it is. These people have lost control over you. That you're taking over. You're the boss. They're not. And that's actually what scares them, is that they can no longer scare you. They can no longer take control. That you have control over yourself. Okay? And that's why these people, oh, there's grieving. Exactly. So these people should have been careful with how they talked, how the way they acted, because your psychic abilities is that you are a very powerful person, and you bring people grief. Okay, meaning like not like in a bad way. It's more like you know how to bring people a reality check. You know how to put people in their place. And people are in grieving, meaning like they are so guilty, so sad, disappointed that you and others have found out what happened to you in your home, that you knew about it and they have no control over you. So meaning that you're speaking up, you're talking about it. You know that God has you. You know your ancestors got you. And they are losing the control of the fact of that you and others are getting clarity about the correct thing. That's why these people are being put in grief, because they literally try to mess with your clarity. Now, they're going to be put in grief, and they're not going to be able to get the correct clarity, because you want to know why? Is because they were told to be inspiration. So, like I said, inspiration could mean that these people were told to try to control you, try to take power over you, like force engagement, that now they're in grief because they should have known better not to encourage someone to do something to you in your sleep, in your home, or any type, or gang stalking you, or any criminal activity. This is why they're being put in grief, because they should have never went along with somebody. So pretty much the reasons why there's grieving here is because people do love you, they do care about you. And these people legitimately thought by what they did, they were hoping that you would have no love in your home. They were hoping that they could keep you in a spiral. They were hoping you would never get the clarity of what happened to you, what they have done in secret. And actually the reason why they can also be put in grieving is that you know who is their cliques, who was involved. That's actually why too. Yep, we got fertility right there. Fertility means sexual activity, means birth. So yeah, that's what it is. And it just shows right on the board is that you have cotton people. They cannot control you. And that's why they're scared of you, because your psychic abilities, your ancestors, your spirit guides, God. That's why these people are in grieving, because you are being encouraged to speak upon your testimony, to speak upon people who are not going to control you, that these people should have never force engaged. They should have never took an offer. And that's not loving someone. So someone was trying to be very sadistic out here. I'm going to tell you that. That's pretty much the major deal, is that you have caught on to these groups. And that's why they're in grieving, is because, like I said, because you got fertility, and then you got home. So somebody knew. They were force engaging. They're losing the control of what you speak about, and they know the reasons why they're in grief is because they know that you are speaking the truth. They know how intuitive you are. They know that they messed up. Their courage is going to cost them their home. Could cost them their family. It could cost them everything by trying to encourage the messed up behavior. And the reasons why grieving is here could be that these people are about to actually not really going to have anybody, not really going to care for them, because after what they did. From going out here trying to be a crappy person, you try to go after a spiritual person, a 144,000, a Ascended Masters, a seer, a spiritual healer out here. Oh yeah. Trust and believe that that's why they're grieving, because they have no control. Their courage just got them messed up. Their courage was cowardly. That's what I'm saying, though. That is so crazy how that came out. But just like I said, that would explain it. People knew exactly what happened. And that's where the rumor starts, is because make it make sense. How can people going around saying that they were trying to control us, a narrative of that it happened to you in your sleep, and they want to go around saying that you're doing this and that, you're cheating? How can they say that? The reasons why they're in grieving is because there was a sexual assault that happened in a home. Their courage, them force engagement, is going to cost them grieving. They lost control over you because now you have the clarity and the truth, the closure, the clarity to know it for what it is. People should not be playing with the spiritual person out here like this. This is actually why they're probably scared. This is probably why. Is because they cannot control you. You control the situation, not them. They have no control over you at any sort. They do not. I promise you that. And now they're going to feel powerless. They're going to feel like nobody's going to love for them. They should have not been encouraged to do the wrong thing. That has repercussions. It's cause and effect. Yeah, then we got attitude. Yeah, so that's actually what's pissing off these people, is that they literally think that you have an attitude when you're just speaking your truth. You're getting facts out, and they literally think that you got this attitude. You really don't have an attitude. The only thing you have an attitude about is that you're going to know the truth. You are going to make these people regret what they have done to you. That you're going to make them lose the attitude of being a coward, being an accomplices. That you're going to make them drop their attitudes real quick. By them doing what they did to you, you know they have lost their identity. You know they have lost their selves in a very deep way. By trying to control of the situation. So that's what it is. So whenever people go out here trying to talk about this or trying to spread rumors about you, that's why. It's because they know that, see, now they're in defense. Now they're intimidated. Exactly. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, ancestors. Yeah. Now they're in defense mode. Now they're all offended. They're intimidated by what you know about. They're intimidated by you. Yeah, they are. They're intimidated, and that's why they're in grieving. You know why? Because they let their pride get in the way. They let their attitude. They're in defense, meaning like they're guilty, because they let their pride get in the way. Yep. They need to learn self-love out here instead of trying to go after everybody and anybody. They need to learn how to self-love, because when you go out here and hurt people like this, that is not self-love. I'm telling you. Yeah. Fancy. So someone literally thought by them having a cocky attitude that they literally thought that this was fancy. Alright. That has serious consequences too. What is the defense part, the intimidation about? That you are very well respected out here on the streets. You are very well respected. That's actually what they're intimidated about. And that's actually why they're in defense. So anytime when somebody dares to speak upon doing criminal activities on you or anything about rape in your sleep or sexually assaulted you, you got people out here that are ready to show you the respect that you need. That's actually what they're intimidated about. Yep, their pride has a style for sure. That's gonna get these people disrespected real quick. Yep, real quick. Like I said, people really shouldn't be trying to take over you. They really shouldn't try to be messing with your psychic abilities, your acknowledgement of what you know, what you understand, your ascendant masters, the seer, clairvoyancy, seeing past, present, future, and then we got instincts at the bottom of the deck. People just should have not tried it. Alright? They should have known better. But you are getting the clarity. They're scared. They're intimidated of your spiritual gifts. Seeing past, present, futures. You can even dream about it. You can predict it. They should have not been encouraged to do that to you in your sleep. or any type of criminal activity. That's actually what's scaring these people. There are people in prisons, in jails, who are watching your stuff. Even the bikers are watching this. Even the Aryan Brotherhoods are watching this. And it's putting them in grief because they know you are on point. They know that you're right. It was not the Son of Silent. It was not the Mongols. But there is somebody that is going out of those groups and trying to cause something very nasty. Like I said, with the Aaron situation, exact same thing. Exact same rumors going on. Like I said, they're having an attitude because they are intimidated because you are very well respected out here. Their pride thought that they had a style, but truthfully they're just intimidated. They got an attitude because they can no longer control you because your psychic abilities are on point. That's why they're in grieving, because they should have known better not to force engagement in that activity of criminal acts. It don't matter. Trying to gang up on you, pull a knife out on you, trying to rape you. It does not matter. It does not matter of the sort. And people are instincts. They know. They're seriously, they're not naive to it. That's what people actually has to learn and understand, that when you have been through something, you talk about it, is because you are helping yourself to know the problem to the situation, who needs to take self-responsibility, who is the main issue here. Like projection. There is really a lot of really bad energies coming from the Aryan Brotherhoods who needs to stop projecting. And yes, there was stuff being done. There was bribery upon a person's life, being targeted, individual, people paying, trying to kill you. It does not matter if it's trying to attempt or committed. I know there's been people trying to cut heads off. There's been people leaving dead animals, death threats, stuff like that. You know, and this is actually what's going to put the grieving in others. That's actually what they're intimidated about you, is that you should not ever mess with the 144,000. You should never mess with somebody who has control over their life. Somebody who is very well respected. And someone who actually sits and thinks in logic. And once these people finally finds out that you understand, they're projecting. Where the rumors come from, like I said, it's just a mess. And I've always had to sit here and always have to understand and logically with what's been going on. My ascensions have been going up. I have already did a reading yesterday that God and the devil and the Grim Reaper had a meeting because somebody opened up Pandora's box. Some people have really messed up. But like I said, I've actually picked up on that before. Like I said, there is something here that is pretty much going to have to, pretty much by self-love, they have to have the acknowledgement and understand they have to love themselves before they can love someone else. You do not love somebody if you go out there and you agree to sexually rape someone or you get paid to do it. That is not self-love. That means you do not care. You have no control over your life. That means you are being inspired by a body-snatching demon. You are inspiration. This is actually why they're in defense. This is why they got an attitude, because their pride is busted of the facts of what you understand. So like I said, I've actually talked a little bit before I done the cards. But like I said, this is all I got for right now. But yeah, that's actually what these people are mad about, is that you are very well respected and they're intimidated by that. That you are a very high ranked individual in the spiritual realm. You're also a soul reaper and a spirit walker. You're very well respected by your ancestors, and that's probably why they're intimidated by you. But like I said, you got a whole bunch of people who either admire you, you got people who are just being weird towards you, but you will know the difference. But there are people who are actually glad I do get their messages, because people wouldn't come to me and tell me things because they actually threatened their lives. And I actually got that on my YouTube channel where I made playlists. I've actually talked about that. I've even picked up on 2001, I believe. There were people back then wanting to tell me stuff, and I was actually warned that one of my exes was going to burn me alive. And when I came home with being around a friend that used to live in Lafayette, she and her boyfriend brought me home, and there was bleach on my door of my second apartment. And I guess somebody had to run off someone because somebody was going to burn down my apartment. Like I said, I literally have a documentary about people, what they were trying to do, how they were going to try to kill me, how they were going to do it, how many people, who was in a group. I've even talked about it, but like I said, this is only me trying to help myself, but I also try to help out others out here because I really feel like there's other people who needs to know as well. So it is not just for me. Like I said, I try to help out others out here as well. And like I said, there are a lot of people who deal with stuff every day. But just like I said, this is all I got for right now. But yes, especially, this is actually why they are having an attitude, they're intimidated, is because you're using your spiritual gifts. These people have no control over you, and that's actually what is scaring them. So what I mean by that is that whenever you are a messenger, you are going to give out messages. You are going to know regardless. You are going to know everything and anything. You are going to hear telepathy. It does not matter. When you have psychic abilities, you have control over yourself. And that's actually what's making these people so sad, so mad, so angry, so intimidated, is that you are unbothered. These people have an issue where they can no longer control you because God said, snip, snip, you're out, bye. Because they're nothing but a karmic, and that's very nasty. And then plus when you got karmics, then you got low vibrational karmics, and then you got narcissistic, got all types out there. Like I said, these people are just going to have to understand and realize that you cannot be under the influence. Like if literally somebody told you to go jump off a bridge, are you going to do it? No, you really shouldn't. But like I said, there were people trying to pull something. Now they feel grieving. They feel sadness. And that's actually probably what it is. There's people in prisons and the jails who are hearing my video on my YouTubes, and there are literally people crying, or they're sympathizing of the situation, or maybe the Aryan Brotherhoods are being crying ass bitches right now, which I don't care. They actually killed my mother, and they've been targeting my family. I don't like that. So, like I said, why do I keep smelling cologne? I smelled that last night too, and then there was a freaking frog. Oh, I did not like that last night. Well, actually, while I'm thinking about it, that I have no idea what the crap that was last night. I almost stepped on it. I didn't know what it was. There was like a dead frog, and I actually know a long time ago, but I cannot prove it. But I have a good idea who left a dead frog on the porch. And I do not like that. I take that as a death threat, like I said. There was 1 with the knife, 2, a headless dog, 3, there was a hanging rope threat on the door, and then a frog. I do not tolerate threats. And that's actually probably what it means, is that you are showing these people that you're not going to tolerate it, that you are a very strong individual, that you're going to make these people regret what they done to you. Like I said, stuff like that. But, that's pretty much all that I got. just know that these people who were encouraged to do this, oh, trust me, they are intimidated and they're in grief. I mean, like, they are in so sadness that you figured out what was the issue, who was involved, the clicks. Oh, trust me, fertility, home, it was encouraged. It was paid for. They had a part in it. That's not the first time I've heard rumors about it. But yes, this is actually getting around the jails. This is getting around in the prisons. And they're gonna be really putting grieving. But you know what? This is actually gonna make people actually respect you. Because you really shouldn't have to come out here and have to explain stuff. But people respect you. For the people who don't respect you, it's because they don't like you speaking the truth. They do not like you being outspoken. Like, they literally want you to be a robot to society, that all this is okay and it's not. Like, you are a very type of different breed out here. Like, you are a different type of energy that nobody will ever understand you. Like, you may have the energy of that people do not dare to come near you. Like, you literally got people who are scared of you. It's because that's your ancestors' bloodline right there. Very royalty. But just like I said, just remember that you have control, not them. Your instincts were kicking in, and that's actually all that matters. You have the acknowledgement. Actually, you have the ancestors. Actually, you have the ancestors acknowledge of what you needed to know. That's why people are in grief. Because that's why they're intimidated, and that's why they got an attitude. Because you are acknowledging you had an instinct. You should always listen to your gut intuition. You should always listen to your spiritual gifts at all times. Because your gut and your intuition will never lie to you, and energies will never lie to you. See, that's another thing. The other thing is that what could possibly be scaring these people is that, I forgot what the fuck I said. I don't know why I did that. Oh yeah, about like psychic abilities, your gut intuition, stuff like that. Always listen to your gut. Your gut will always tell you something. But for the people who has a hard time accepting you having spiritual gifts, or if you can like sit there and just talk and something happens, like clairvoyancy, knowing something to happen, like I said, your spiritual gifts are here to be used for the good, not for the bad. And some people may not understand that about you, but your spiritual gifts and your acknowledgement, you're helping others to bring awareness out here, that to help them to understand that these people need self-love, because they do not love themselves if they're out here causing grief. They do not love a person if they're out here doing criminal activities. They're not. And then by being inspiration, empowerment, these people have no control over their life, meaning that they do not have a voice. They just go along with it because it's the norm. That's where people lose their empowerment. So pretty much they sold their soul to the devil by being a puppet on a string, being someone's bitch. And it's costing them now grieving. That's why they're intimidated. And they're scared that you acknowledge certain situations. But just like I said, this is all I got. I hope you guys have a lovely night. I'm going to go ahead and show the cards again before I get off of here. But yeah, you sure got the clarity from your ancestors. Like I said, energy will never lie to you. You got all different types out here. You got healers, you got Reiki, Kundalini, Ascendant Masters. You got a whole bunch of different spirituality, and plus Ascendant Masters is a very difficult type of energy. But actually, once you actually understand your spiritual gifts with your clairvoyancy, what I mean by clairvoyancy is that you can dream about it and it came true, or like I said, people are still freaked out. It's because I had my first vision in Tuttle, and that's all I'm going to say. And a lot of people couldn't understand just because I saw it happen. But just like I said, energy will never lie to you. Always listen to your ancestors. Always listen to what you acknowledge. And then plus on top of that, that the ancestors also want you to acknowledge what you've been through before, meaning like your childhood. So like if you are seeing a pattern, acknowledge what you understand back then, but then you have to really think and really pay attention that people are projecting. They do not love you. They do not care about you. They are intimidated because they have an attitude, because they cannot control you. That's all it is. Just weird projection. Alright? That's all it is. Is that your love, your light beats their darkness. That's pretty much what pisses them off, actually. But I'm going to go and get off here. I'm going to get this on my YouTube. And I hope you guys have a lovely night. Always listen to your instincts. Set that too. Never ignore it. Have a nice day.